Hi, ladies. Good morning. Welcome to the Fast Way to Fat Loss. I am so thrilled to work with each and every one of you. Here's the deal. This program is challenging, but I promise we are going to have a blast. You're going to learn a great deal, and you will see some awesome results through the next 7 weeks. To begin, you're asked to take your measurements and fill out that new client assessment. If you have not done that, please do that before moving forward. If you haven't introduced yourself in the Facebook group, please do that as well. One little tip in the Facebook group, make sure you pin our group to your shortcut so it's easy to find. It is somewhere where we're going to be spending a lot of time checking in on a daily basis, so keep that handy. So I'm going to run through the program. You obviously have our login to our online portal. You have that program guide that allows you to really see the why behind the what and the how in regards to our strategies, intermittent fasting, carb cycling. But I'm going to kind of chat through those today and kind of let you know about what you can expect with our weekly food cycle. My goal for you is to really create a healthy lifestyle that helps you effectively burn fat with these cutting edge strategies. That being said, our focus through week 1 and throughout the entire program, and I think in life, should be progress, not perfection. I never want perfection to be the enemy of good. We're going to show ourselves a lot of grace. Our goal, progress over perfection. We've got to take it one step at a time, one day at a time, one meal at a time. It's super important that you show yourself that grace, that when you do have a setback, the quicker that you bounce back, the more progress you're going to see. I also want to note that if you are a new client, please lean on the group. We will have a few more ladies that are going to join this week that are in their week 6 that want to roll into another 6-week program. So we'll have some veterans in there that can help answer questions. And of course, I'm here to answer any and all questions, but we're here to support one another, encourage each other. I don't want anyone feeling intimidated, because if you have a question or are struggling with something, I guarantee you someone else is, so don't be shy. I will be really candid with you as far as managing your expectations. Some of the things you might feel, even in these first few weeks, you might have some detoxing symptoms that you might experience, but I really want your passion to make a lifestyle change to be greater than your fear or the discomfort that comes with making a change. So whatever it was that inspired you to pull the trigger, to sign up for this round, to do it, keep that focus when things, get uncomfortable. Because we all know it's easier to stay the same than it is to change. So super important. So we're going to incorporate several key elements that are highly effective in this program. We're going to eat the right macros at the right time for the right reasons. In other words, we're going to engage in intermittent fasting. We're going to track our macronutrients. So if you're not used to tracking macros, it takes some getting used to, but I promise you it's so worth it. It's such a learning tool, and it really isn't a big deal. We are going to lift heavy to develop lean, calorie-burning muscle. There literally is no downside to having more calorie-burning muscle. So if you have any fear or apprehension about strength training, I promise you will not get bulky. Women, we do not have the testosterone or the makeup to get bulky. We actually get more compact when we have more muscle mass. You will burn more fat and increase your metabolic rate with strength training. And when I say lifting heavy, it's whatever is challenging to you. So again, this is one of those places where you don't want to compare yourself, because whatever's challenging to you is lifting heavy. And so don't look at what somebody else is doing and say, well, I can't do that much weight. That's okay. Whatever's challenging for you is going to help you see results. We'll also be engaging in some fasted cardio or metabolic training, also known as HIIT or high intensity interval training. We'll do that to effectively burn fat and also get our heart rate up. So I'm going to kind of cover the main aspects of our nutrition strategies. Whole food nutrition, first and foremost, this is our top priority. I truly believe this is the best way to eat to get our nutrition. The bulk of what we will eat through this program is to eat whole foods as much as possible and practical. So whole foods are found in their most natural state. The general rule of thumb is that if it comes from the ground or has a mother, then you're good to go. It's considered a whole food. Typically, it has few ingredients. They're easy to pronounce. Whole foods have not been processed or modified. There's no added chemicals or sugar. They're simply whole. So think of things like fruit, vegetables, meats, herbs, spices, beans, nuts, things like that. And we prioritize whole foods because in general, they have more of the micronutrients than processed foods. Micronutrients are the vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and other bioactive compounds that are so good for our bodies. You could eat a bunch of processed foods and still hit your macro goals, but it won't be nearly as healthy as whole foods because you're missing out on those micronutrients. Whole foods are generally higher in fiber, both soluble and insoluble. Soluble is great for reducing our bad cholesterol, lowering our blood pressure, reducing inflammation, things like that. Insoluble fiber is really good for our digestive system, helps support our gut health, so really good for overall health. But again, I really want to emphasize the as much as practical and possible. I've had ladies go through the program that say, well, I'm afraid to eat if it's not perfect. If you're at the ballpark and the best you can do is a hot dog, eat a hot dog. I'd rather you eat than not. So show yourself grace that you just have to do the best you can with where you're at, and you just track it and you move on. So no guilt, no shame in food. In my opinion, there's no good foods or bad foods. It's just some that have more nutrients and probably serve your body better than others, and your body responds best with the whole foods. Okay, so I'm going to hop into the topic of intermittent fasting, but I'm talking fast, so I'm going to take a sip. Okay. So intermittent fasting is not a type of diet, it's an eating schedule. Your body is in one of two states. It's either fed or it's fasted. And in the fed state, that's anytime our body is digesting food, our body's insulin levels when we eat spike, which makes burning fat a challenge. However, in the fasted state, which is 8 to 12 hours after our body finishes digesting, that's when our insulin levels are lower and our body's better able to reach towards our fat stores for energy. So in this day and age, people rarely go into the fasted state throughout the day. In fact, I'm sure you've heard the exact opposite suggested, that you need to eat small meals throughout the day to lose weight and burn fat. But that strategy doesn't give you great fat loss results, because eating small meals throughout the day means you never reach that fasted state. Also, when you're doing this, you're constantly spiking your insulin levels, which hinders fat loss. So although eating small meals throughout the day may help you lose weight, if you're eating at a calorie deficit, anytime you're at a deficit, you will lose weight. You'll most likely be losing fat, but also muscle and, of course, water weight. So that's the exact opposite of what we want, because when you lose that muscle mass, you actually lower your metabolic rate, which means you're not burning as much. We really want our bodies to have high metabolisms, which means we need more muscle to help us. Lean muscle is basically our body's powerhouse. That's where the vast majority of our calories are burned. Even while you're sitting or sleeping, if your eating habits cause you to lose muscle mass, you likely feel like you can't get toned or fit, even if you're working out and getting clean. So how does intermittent fasting work? After your body works hard to digest your meal, You break down that meal in your digestive tract, the nutrients are released into your bloodstream. That means your body often has excess fuel, and that gets stored as fat. When you fast, your body has to rely on its energy stores by burning through fat and glycogen. So through intermittent fasting, we essentially teach our body to burn fat instead of storing it. Intermittent fasting also affects our hunger hormones. They're called leptin, ghrelin, and insulin. So some of the other benefits of fasting, it helps our hormones. It helps us maintain our skeletal muscle mass. It decreases our blood glucose levels, so that's our blood sugars. It decreases our insulin levels and also helps with our insulin sensitivity, which is a good thing. And intermittent fasting also helps us elevate our growth hormone levels, which means that helps preserve our muscle mass, if not build muscle. So very good on that side. Interruption number 1. Let's see how we do. Okay, so next I want to chat through carb cycling. A carb cycling program is essentially just a varied intake of our carbohydrates each week. So there's low carb days, high carb days. The cool thing about the Fast Way to Fat Loss that's different than any other carb cycling program out there is that we pair our workouts to our carb intake to maximize our fat burn and our energy levels.
What?
Hold on. Hi, Danielle. I have you muted, and I have an interruption. Excuse me. What's up? No, you guys need to wait till I'm done. I'm going to count down from 5, 4, 3, 2. No, I'll be done very soon. No, just stay. Did you do your writing and your numbers? Go. Shh, I'm on a call right now, you guys. You're interrupting. Please go. I'm sorry. Go, go. Joy, go. Shut the door behind you, please. Thank you. 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh my word. I am so sorry, you guys. Oh, story of my life. Okay. I was talking about carb cycling. Okay, so why do we do the carb cycling? Why do we vary our carb intake? So if you have heard about the keto diet, that's a fad right now that is cutting out all carbohydrates. Long-term restriction of carbohydrates and calories, again, can really lower your metabolic rate and negatively impact your hormone levels. Hormones for women especially, I mean, that is the biggest aspect I feel like that allows us to get and stay lean are having healthy hormones. So this is a huge reason why women see weight loss plateaus. For a short period of time when you restrict, do any type of significant restrictive diet, you will lose weight. However, over time, you'll lower your metabolic rate. So once that happens, you basically hit a plateau, and then you have to restrict even further to get more, lose more weight, which again is just a very vicious cycle and an unhealthy way to live. Carbs are so, so important. They help with energy. They help with our brain health. And for us as women, when we eat carbs, it our hormone levels go up, which is great. So what does carb cycling do? Carbs allow for those high carb days. High carb days are when we increase our thyroid output, and that helps control hunger. So because we're cycling our carbs, we also have those low carb days that offset those days. With this type of a cycle, we continue to see fat loss results. We increase our energy levels and we improve our overall body composition. So, and the best part of all is that you don't feel deprived. Low carb days, we fill up on a lot of protein and a lot of good healthy fats. That's very filling and feels good. And you literally can feel fat burning off you on those low carb days. And it's really great because as soon as you hit your high carb days, you can have some of those feel-good foods, and you don't have to feel bad about indulging or enjoying some of those high-carb foods that so many of us enjoy. So let's talk about the science behind carb cycling. Our body stores excess carbs as glycogen and fat. And when our body needs energy, they break down fat and glycogen to fuel the work. Carb cycling basically mimics the natural cycle and helps encourage the body to break down its fat stores. So on the low carb days, we deplete our body's glycogen stores, those sugars or that carbs that have been turned into glycogen. Our workouts on low carb days are designed to get our body to fuel the workout with glycogen that are in our muscle and liver. When you work out, you have very little sugar in your bloodstream, which causes the body to break down that glycogen and to create cellular energy. And by relying on our energy stores, you don't need to eat to fuel your workouts. So your body will use its fat stores for energy on low carb days. So it's that combination of carb cycling and intermittent fasting that really turns our body into a fat burning furnace. And then the high carb days, that's when your body gets the food it needs to rebuild its energy stores. Oh gosh. However, because the body first uses the glycogen, then fat for energy, it will begin to replace our glycogen stores before storing fat. So even though we're consuming carbs, our body doesn't store the excess carbs as fat because it's so busy rebuilding the glycogen stores. So I hope that makes sense. So again, the carb cycling, intermittent fasting is really why this is so effective to help us have a really great fat burn without really restricting calories. In fact, you'll hear me, probably the most common thing that I will say to us in the group is that you actually need to be eating more. So let's kind of do a quick rundown of our 7-day food cycle. So on Monday, day 1 is our first low carb day. Our goal is to eat less than 50 grams of net carbs. So net carbs, remember, is our carbs minus our fiber equals our net carbs. So make sure you watch that MyFitnessPal one. You'll be able to reference in the app your carbs and your fiber. On that nutrients tab is my favorite. So we're going to pair our low carb food log with some type of speed burst training or metabolic training or Tabata, a high intensity workout. Again, because the goal is to really burn through our glycogen stores on low carb day. Most of us are sugar burners, and our goal is to change from being a sugar burner to a fat burner, where our body relies on fat or triglycerides for fuel. Brody? Sure. Be careful. Sure. Sorry. Never fails. Okay. And so Mondays and Tuesdays are going to both be low carb days, back to back. And again, like I said before, low carb days, you literally feel like you're just like losing fat. It's amazing. But be prepared for some symptoms of detoxing, especially on these first few low carb days. You may have a headache. You may feel a little irritable. Drink plenty of water. Stay hydrated to alleviate those feelings. Thank you. As I mentioned, we're going to pair the low carb days with a speed burst training plus our shorter feeding window. So if you have never tried intermittent fasting, we're going to just kind of ease into it. And you could even start today. If you typically have breakfast at 7 a.m., just try to beat that by an hour. Try to, so tomorrow, if you have breakfast today at 7, tomorrow try to have breakfast at 8. And the next day, try to beat that by an hour. And just slowly push your the time when you break your fast a little bit further back, and we're going to work towards hitting that later feeding window. So something that I want to stress is that if you have not worked out in a long period of time, I don't want you to push extremely hard. My philosophy is I really want you to ease into the workouts because our focus really is on the nutrition, and I don't want anyone getting so sore on week 1 that they feel discouraged and don't want to keep going. you know, there's no reason to hit the workouts 120% if you haven't worked out in a long period of time. Ease into it. Look at the workouts and consider what you think you can do, and then cut that in half. See how you feel the next day and try again. So, yeah, so I hope that makes sense. And then if you're a returning client, though, I expect you to be hitting it hard, and we'll talk about that for some of the returning clients. Okay, so on our Wednesday, after 2 low carb days, you are going to be so ready for those carbs. Our goal is to really refeed. So we're going to have carbs. You guys have to get excited about that. We're going to increase so here's how I always think about it. Monday, Tuesday, we're burning fat. After that, we really focus on building that lean calorie burning muscle. And so our bodies aren't meant to go extremely hard in our workouts 7 days a week. So I really want to emphasize that Wednesday, since you're going to be depleted from those Monday and Tuesday, don't overdo it in your workout. Just, you know, do the workout as best you can, but you don't have to crush it. And I'll be honest, I really feel passionate that there is a problem in our general health and wellness marketplace that really emphasizes under-eating and over-exercising. And obviously, you know, just using common sense, if we do that for a long period of time, if we continue to stress ourselves and under-eat or over-exercise, and it's just a bad combination that ultimately something's going to break, and it's going to be your thyroid or it's going to be your adrenals. And for women especially, like I said before, our hormone health is so important for keeping us feeling good, having energy, being able to kind of live optimally. So, okay, so I kind of went off on a soapbox there. So Wednesday, we're already going to be depleted after those low carb days, but we really get to replenish those carbs on Wednesdays. So I'll talk through kind of my favorite ideas for carbs and low carb days and things like that in a minute too. So Thursday is another regular macro day. You're going to eat a balanced amount of macros, and it's our focus for our workout is our back day. Back day is the second largest muscle group in the body, so that's a great thing. Obviously, legs are the most important day, and I love leg day. That'll be on Saturday. So by Friday, we will rest, and we really need to balance and honor the stress and the rest that our body needs. We've got to listen to our body. If you ever are going through a really stressful day, or you didn't get a lot of sleep the night before, I would much rather you take a rest day, even if it's unplanned, than to power through a workout. The rest is so, so important. And this schedule, this routine is meant to be flexible. So if we need to shift your day or your week around a little bit to make it work with your family and your lifestyle, by all means, that's something we can talk about. I have one gal that we touch base every couple weeks, and she tells me when she's traveling, when she's going to have a gym workout or a hotel workout, and we just kind of brainstorm to make sure she feels like she has a plan in place. And obviously sometimes things change, but that's totally doable. So by Friday, rest day, that would be a day to go on a long walk or to do a bike ride, something low intensity. It's considered an active recovery day. But again, rest is so vital. If I'm super sore by Friday, I might just stretch or roll out on the foam roller or go for a walk with the kids or a bike ride or something, or just normal life feels like I'm moving around enough that maybe just a stretch is enough. And then Saturday is our most important workout of the week. That is our leg day. We're going to shred up our legs with a really intense leg workout. The best part of it, though, is that you get to earn your treat of the day or of the week. So Saturdays is typically my donut day with the kiddos, or when we weren't in season for my husband, that would be our date night. So we would save and have kind of an indulgent meal for dinner or some drinks or whatever. So Saturday is kind of our treat day. The difference between like a regular macro day and our training day and getting that treat is that you do have room for those discretionary calories on Saturday. So we're not going to go crazy. It's not a full feast day, but by all means, it's a day that you would want to enjoy your favorite foods with no guilt, because you've earned it. And then on Sunday is another rest day. It's a great day to, I don't know, hit up a sauna or do some yoga or some additional core work, go for a walk outside or a bike ride, whatever is good for you. So another key aspect of this program is that I want you to get enough sleep. I really want you to, we want to be getting healthy from the inside out, and then actually a big part of it starts in our gut. So we're going to be talking a little bit more about gut health throughout this, and I'll be sharing tips about how you can really heal your gut and make sure you have a healthy gut flora. And so I just want to run through quickly, sorry, my kids really kind of slowed me down there, kind of my expectations. Please, first of all, please update me daily in the group, good, bad, or ugly, because that's what the group is there for. It's for that accountability, but it's also there for the support, because like I said before, we're going to have those great wins that we'll get to, that'll be exciting to share, but we also have those struggles, and we can help each other, you know, kind of bounce back from those. So don't hesitate. We will be sharing our macro screenshot each and every day. So even if you messed up, even if you're like, I ate breakfast today, or I overate on my carbs, or I didn't get my workout in, whatever, it's okay. Number two, a really important expectation is that you are not to step on the scale. I preached this on my public Facebook page, but I can't emphasize enough that the scale is such a poor representation of our progress and the progress we're making towards our goals. So go ahead, step on the scale to get your starting number for your MyFitnessPal. But we are focused on reducing body fat, not overall weight, because muscle weighs more than fat. So don't let the scale skew you from the progress you're making. We really focus on non-scale victories. So how's your energy? How are you sleeping? How are you feeling? You know, how do your clothes fit? All those kinds of things are really what we focus on. And before and after pictures are everything. So I can't tell you how many times women have changed their body composition significantly, but the scale doesn't change. But if you look at their pictures, they're like entirely different people. So, and my third expectation is that I want us to have fun and be supportive and really focus on having the right mindset, which is a positive one. A positive mindset will set you up for success as you pursue your goals. So I've gone on long enough, ladies. I'm so excited to get started on Monday. Go ahead and try out these strategies. Begin fasting. Do some of the prep week workouts over the next few days, and try to ease into some of the intermittent fasting. And we'll jump right into it on Monday. But what questions, for you ladies that are on, I'll unmute you. Do either of you have any questions? Hi, dear. How are you?
Hello. Hold on.
Denise, what do you got, lady?
Any place to recommend for Whole Foods or just Wegmans or?
Yeah, any grocery store. Yeah, you basically can't go wrong. You may have heard like shopping the perimeter of the grocery store is the best. So get away from the aisles where things are in boxes and packages. Those tend to be the processed foods. But start in your, you know, the produce. You want to fill up on a lot of fruits and vegetables, and get your meat and, you know, other than like beans and rice and some other things in the middle, you know, we want to just be eating more of the whole foods as much as possible. So a lot of fruits and vegetables, a lot of meats and eggs and things like that. So.
Okay. And do we record in MyFitnessPal?
Yeah. So in MyFitnessPal, you will add your food in either as you go, but especially in low carb days, I like to plan out what I'm going to eat. So almost every low carb day, I can tell you, I have eggs in some form. I have almonds in some form. I have raspberries because they are really, they're low glycemic, so they don't spike our blood sugars, and they have a lot of great fiber. I always have avocado. I typically will have a protein shake. Those are easy. And then I have some form of like protein or like a meat and a green or a veggie or something. So, yeah. So you'll just track in there daily. If you haven't caught the MyFitnessPal video, check that out, because she kind of talks through how to make sure you're set up and how to do that. But let me know if you have any questions on tracking. It just does take some time, because it's like, it's always an eye opener. I still will eat something that I'm like, wow, I'm shocked at how that hit my nutrients for the day. So yeah.
What about Kind granola bars? Are those good for you?
They're not bad. I always look, if I'm checking out a label, I look at, can I read the ingredients? That's typically where I first start. And then I always look at sugar, and then I look at, what's the makeup? So is it mostly fat? Is it mostly protein, or mostly carbs? And kind of look at, there's nothing that's, like I said before, bad. It's more of like, how is it going to hit my macros? Like, how much is it going to take away? And does it leave enough room for the other stuff I want to eat in the day? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Is it worth it? So, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you hit on it. My question was like, what recommended, like, kind of what to cue in on for low carb days.
Yeah.
And you had said meats, eggs, almonds, raspberries, avocado, protein shakes. Those are good things for low carb days.
Totally. Like I almost always have bacon. Like I'll do a higher fat protein on low carb days, because we're not eating the carbs. We need to make up the calories. We're not eating carbs, basically, in protein and fat. So I'll eat higher fat protein. So I'll make sure I have bacon on low carb days, or I'll have beef or pork. So they, yeah.
Okay.
So like I'll do like a bunless burger, and the kids will have buns, on low carb day. Or what else is another? Like we do like a lot of salmon and a veggie or a salad. I love egg rolls in a bowl. I actually have I have a document that helps with. I have my 5 fat burning dinners. I'm going to put that in the group.
Will you? That'd be great. I'd love to see that.
You can note. Okay. And so I do like to take a little time over the weekend before each week to like hit up the grocery store. Kind of before I go to the grocery store, I make a plan of like at least 3 to 4 dinners for the family. And I know like on low carb days, so I'll do like spaghetti and meatballs for the kids. And instead of spaghetti for me, I'll have spaghetti squash or zucchini noodles. So those don't have any carbs essentially. Or we'll do tacos, and I just have a taco salad and they have tacos. So those are pretty easy. Yeah. Yeah,
because I was thinking of that too. Like,
how do you make it work for the kiddos?
Exactly.
Yeah. And like so I'll also post on the higher carb days. You'll see as we get into this, sometimes when people really struggle to eat all of their carbs. I love brown rice pasta versus like white enriched pasta. And so I found a really good one that I'll share in the group as well. We just had spaghetti and meatballs last night. And so I hope that this is not, the goal again is not to feel like you can't eat things or that it's restrictive. It's just the more unprocessed, the better. The more times you can add veggies, the better. Like when in doubt, add veggies. And like, so for my spaghetti and meatballs, I still mixed in a whole plate full of roasted vegetables right into my spaghetti and meatballs, just so I was beefing up my fiber and my nutrition. I wish I could say my children would eat that, but they don't. So.
Yeah, I think that's just it. I mean, it's a lot of information, but it's just getting a game plan together.
Yeah, totally. Yep. And I'm I've been bad the last few weeks, but I try to like post my menu for the week, and I'll try to do that before Sunday so you guys can kind of see, and I'll tag or link my recipes. So if something sounds good to you, you can incorporate it for your family, whether it's that same week or beyond.
Mm-hmm. That would be awesome.
Okay.
So when I take a picture of myself, just like taking in a sports bra in shorts or something. Okay.
That's
right.
great. Yeah.
And then for the workouts, for the weight workouts, is there like a sheet with specific, like you can say leg, but there's a lot of different muscles in your leg, like hamstring,
Yeah.
we're doing groin, like we're doing quads. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Have you seen that part in the portal yet?
I haven't, no.
Okay. In there, you can go to show me the workouts, and it shows you each and every day your workouts. It shows you on Monday, it's a HIIT workout. Here's the moves. Each move is linked with a demonstration, and you can see, okay, I got to do this for 20 seconds, then I rest for 10 seconds, then I do this move. Do it all. It's right all in there.
Okay.
And then for on the weight or the strength workouts, it's all same thing. It's laid out. It'll tell you two sets of reps of lunges, and so it's all laid out there so you can see. And there are different versions. You'll see when you go to show me the workouts, there's a beginner, there's an at home, and there's a gym version.
Nice.
So, yeah. So you'll be able to see those.
And is the portal in the MyFitness app or Facebook?
Nope. I emailed you the link, and then it is also in the group. Check Facebook, and then it's a separate website that you log into with our portal login.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, let's make sure you get in there, because that's where all of the magic happens.
Okay, gotcha. Hi, Joy.
Okay. Is that everything otherwise?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I'm going to stop the recording. Ladies, I can't wait to get started, and have a great weekend.